On OSRC News at 7, Governor Ayedatiwa pledges support to Akure Airport. Urged on observance of dictates of Ramadan as fasting. Senate suspends national dialogue meets economic crisis in. Good evening, here is News at 7. I am Omoshiola Adesoye Ajayi. Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has donated a fire truck to the Akure Airport and promised additional support following the damage caused by a rainstorm that struck a few days ago, which disrupted flight operations while damaging critical infrastructure. Governor Ayedatiwa, during an on-the-spot assessment of the facility, described the extent of the damage as devastating, acknowledging the impact on airport operations. The White House correspondent Wahab Bankole has details.
Flight operations have been disrupted at the Akure Airport following damages caused by a rainstorm, which also the storm caused severe destruction to various facilities at the airport. And determined to ensure that passengers do not suffer untold hardship, Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, in company of his deputy Olayide Adelami and other members of the State Executive Council, at the airport for on-the-spot assessment. Ayedatiwa, who described the extent of the damage as devastating, acknowledging the impact on airport operations, commended the swift response of the federal government Airports Authority addressed the governor now donation of a fire truck to the airport while promising additional support to bring the facility operations. Governor Ayedatiwa confirmed that operations are expected to resume at the airport next week based on assurances from aviation authorities as against the earlier notification of 3-month suspension of operations.
So much damages have been caused by that storm, and from the airspace managers, it was reported that about 65 knots was the strength of that wind, which is a very strong wind that has caused so much damage to the infrastructure here. A lot of work has started at the terminal building, at the control tower, and we've been given assurance that latest by Sunday flight operation will resume here at the airport. For us as a state, we are ready also to support them whichever way possible to ensure that operations start based on the promise they've made for Sunday. Whatever needs to be done quickly, we will also respond and join them, support them to ensure that we keep to that date.
The airport manager, Yemisi Adebiyi, and the contractor handling the repairs, Ademola Pupola, thanked Governor Ayedatiwa for his support with an assurance that flight operations will resume in earnest.
We are working 24 hours, including nights, to make sure we restore operation back into Akure Airport.
To you, we are expecting a once control tower at this airport. Already, FAN has made arrangements to it to be powered. They are working. I think you can see that work is. We have made arrangement to connect the tower to power. What they need to do that are on ground. And I want to assure you, the news that the airport is closed for 3 months is not true.
The facilities destroyed by the rainstorm include the terminal building and the control tower. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Ramadan, a sacred month of Muslims marked by fasting, prayer, charity, and community bonding, has a significant impact on the character and behavior of faithful. Muslims have been therefore encouraged to obey the Ramadan dictates and abstain from foods and drinks as well as sexual activities to help them develop self-control and a stronger connection to their faith. Osrc Abidemi Akirotoye has more.
Ramadan is the 9th month Islamic calendar, considered a sacred time for Muslims worldwide. During this Muslim abstain from food and drinks during the physical of Ghana, Yusuf Agbeshinga highlighted and benefits of Ramadan. A sacred month can spiritually uplift and enrich the lives of Muslims.
For the mere fact that it is compulsory, it's one of the pillars of Islam. Out of the 5 pillars, Ramadan, that every reliable Muslim must fast in the month of Ramadan, either 29 or 30 days. This is a compulsory act. So, for anybody to have partaken in the fasting in the month of Ramadan, that is to say, is obeying the commandment of Almighty.
The coordinating missionary for Muslim Jamaat in and various Islamic scholars stress the need to adhere to certain principles during Ramadan.
In the Ramadan season, we all know that generally people think Ramadan fasting is all about abstaining from drinking and eating, but at the same time we read in the admonitions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that whosoever do not abstain from lying and all actions that are therein with it, meaning deceiving, fighting, or doing anything to harm creatures of Almighty Allah, then such a person has nothing with Almighty Allah.
It has been established that this month is a month of fasting. When we say fasting in Islam, it means al-imsak, like abstaining from eating, drinking, doing some things that are not allowed.
You have to maintain. You want to observe that 9 days. You are abstaining from food, eating and drinking. All those, they are very after you force food is an act of discipline. All that in this you not allow by yourself, not you
advised them reap the spiritual benefits and emerge stronger in their faith.
I would advise my brethren to take this opportunity to ensure that they do all they can to see Allah's mercy. So it is a month that you mercy, everything you need.
We should do the fasting according to the injunctions of the Quran. We should abide with the teachings and preachings of Holy Prophet Muhammad. If you are able to do this, then you discover success is yours at the end of the day.
As the 2025 Ramadan season progresses from to Muslim to adhere to the spiritual essence of the month.
The Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ACON, has commended the Director General of Osrc for his various transformative programs aimed at improving the state-owned media stations. The Ondo State chapter of the Council, during a courtesy visit to Osrc, sought the collaboration of the management in upholding professionalism and improving the practice and business of advertising in the state and Nigeria at large. Osrc's Joy Pius reports that the Director General of Osrc, Mr. Kenneth Odushola Stevenson, assured the group of the station's readiness to collaborate in strengthening advertising practice. The report is presented from our studio.
Members of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ARCON, visit to State by the Adewale Akinola. The agency is seeking collaboration with the state broadcast outfit on upholding professionalism in the area of advertising and having more recognition members in the advertising business. Mr. Akinola who noted that the agency is established with the responsibility of restoring sanity in advertising practice, commended the Director General of OSRC, Mr. Kenneth Odushola Stevenson, for efforts geared towards sustaining standard media practice.
Most of the time, people do ask, why approval? These are double taxation. This is what, should we do this? And we tell them, regulation is the key to the successful of any society. And that is why most of the time, we need to even sanitize the industry. The presenters, the professionals handling these things too, they ought to know. And that is why we work in tandem with NBC. NBC work for the airwaves, we work for the adverts, and we ensure there is this synergy.
The Director General OSRC Media Group acknowledged the role the marketing communication industry play in the growth of business and the Nigeria's economy, while assuring of the station's readiness to collaborate the agency. Mr. Odushola Stevenson, however, urged the body to up its game advertising
industry. You can expect a cooperation from us in terms of what we put on air, especially advertising products. And you can expect cooperation for us. We want to thank you for coming, and then keep talking and keep working together in this industry so we can bring some sanity in terms of what we see on air and all of that and what we hear.
Established in 1988, the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ARCON, is an agency with administration and control the practice of advertising in Nigeria.
You're watching OSRC News at 7. We take a break now. When we come back, the news continues. Please don't go away. Glad to have you back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.com or follow us on Facebook OSRC TV, and on our YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. The present administration in Ondo State says its commitment to providing adequate funding for all government-owned tertiary institutions remains unwavering. Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa, the third convocation ceremony of the Olusegun Agagu University of Science and Technology, Okitipupa, hailed the growth of the institution in the last few years, with a promise that his administration will provide more support for the institution, including its ongoing plans to float a College of Medicine. The governor emphasized the importance of quality education in driving societal progress, pledging his support for the advancement of education in the state, particularly through infrastructure development. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole reports that a total of 995 students graduated at the third convocation ceremony.
Ondo State Governor Loke Aiyedatiwa was by turn of the Olusegun ahead of its third convocation ceremony. Convocation marked the official commencement of the you are also the visitor to the citadel of reaffirmed of his administration to provide adequate own tertiary institution in this. The governor congratulating the university graduates on the occasion. They embrace lifelong learning, innovation, and excellence in their future endeavors.
As we gather here to commemorate the remarkable achievements of our graduating students, I want to reaffirm our administration's unwavering commitment to the landscape of this, which is one of our 7-point agenda. We are resolute in our determination to prioritize development of state-of-the-art infrastructure, provide our students with
at the university include complete maritime transport and at Ubola under the state oil area development and the rest of it.
These academic efforts is that we these figures the body department, it is going to support the institution with
that you recommended led by Vice First Logo growth in student enrollment. A total of 998 students for the first at the same, with 31 of them bagging first from Okiti State. Wahab Bankole, OS.
Meanwhile, the Ondo State government has inducted over 100 pupils and students from primary and secondary schools in Ilaje local government area of the state into the Young Farmers Club. The special advisor to Governor located at One Women Affairs, Dr. Sheung Osamaye, emphasized the critical role and importance of making agriculture appealing to younger generations, describing the Young Farmers Club as a crucial step towards reviving the culture of farming in schools. Joy Pius reports that 100 women across Ondo State benefited from the disbursement of funds for the Women Agricultural Support Program of the Renewed Hope Initiative.
The Young Farmers Club Nigeria program of the Hope with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Ondo State and many came into the initiative as a way of encouraging pupils and students to learn farming techniques while contributing to Nigeria's security and economic diversification.
I join Young Farmers Club today.
Pupils of Mega Bene and students of Ilaje High School, Ilaje Local Government of Ondo State. Young Farmers, the special advisor to Governor Loki Aiyedatiwa on Women Affairs, Dr. Sheung Osamaye. They are informed to them. Dr. Osamaye explained the initiative to channel the energy, create minds towards sustainable and development, while ensuring provided will be utilized easily.
We want to assure the wife of the president, Her Excellency
senator know that our governor of Ondo that since that she has initiated will be in Ondo State assurance that whatever assistance been provided, people judiciously utilized for their impact and progress.
Further days, this opportunity will enhance agricultural practice and tendency.
I am happy with all they give me. I will use all these tools that they give me so food can be plenty in our community.
This says that needs to be into tomatoes because in Nigeria we are experiencing Nigeria that income.
With the slogan "Growing the food I eat starts with me," these young to know their passion for agriculture life. Meanwhile, women at Ondo State have women agriculture support program and initiated the First Lady of Europe to promote women, particularly farmers.
What the First Lady is doing is to encourage you with this cash empowerment so that you can further use it to boost your agri-business.
Because it's a very good that assists the women in a long way.
The women will use the opportunity to expand their cultural ventures and contribute to local and national work. Joy Pius.
The Senate has suspended the lawmaker representing Kogi Central, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Plata. The Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Powers had recommended the suspension of the Kogi lawmaker for 6 months. The committee also recommended that the senator must apologize to the Senate for disrespecting the Senate. During the period of the suspension, the committee stated that her salary and security duties would be withdrawn. The committee also recommended that Senator Natasha should not be seen anywhere around the National Assembly during a suspension period. Following the recommendation, the Senate adopted a resolution and the Senate President announced the suspension of the lawmaker. Meanwhile, the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Mr. Martin Amawuli, has asked Governor Bara to sack all commissioners within 48 hours and submit a new list of nominees for appointment within the same time. However, in swift reaction, the state government said the 27 lawmakers were acting on the figments of their imagination, overstepping their bounds and heating up the polity even more with their demands. This came as Governor Fubara denied receiving any letter from the Amawule-led House, which gave him a 48-hour ultimatum to present the 2025 budget before the House. Also, the state's Deputy Governor, Professor Ngozi Odu, has debunked the rumor that she has resigned from her position following the rising political tension in the state. In compliance with the Supreme Court verdict, the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission yesterday fixed August 9, 2025 for a fresh local government election in the state. The Edo State government has begun the demolition of houses where suspected kidnappers are victims, even as 2 alleged abductors, Utubo Uchena and Felix Ebama, revealed how they collected 10 million naira ransom from 2 of their victims in their last operation before they were arrested. The duo stated these when they were taken to identify the houses where they kept their victims. Addressing journalists, the suspects, who belonged to a gang of 7, admitted to the crime and identified the property as the hideout before demolition. Uchenna noted that their last victim was adopted because of the luxury car he drives and was kidnapped alongside a lady but were released or not after parting with the ransom. The Benue State Police Command has confirmed the release and effort to secure their release. Details of their release have yet to be disclosed. Ghana is facing its worst economic crisis in decades. The country is grappling with the record level of debt and a prolonged period of high inflation. As many Ghanaians struggle to put food on the table, the new president is trying to unite the country to find a solution. Aderuke Kolawole completes the story.
The market produce is plenty, but
times are really bad. Previously, and not selling. Our vegetables used to rot, but things ease.
Ghana is worst economic crisis. The debt out about $50 billion. Ghana's new president, John Dramani, is back for a second time, hosted a National Economic Dialogue Conference where the public and private sectors and economic came together to find solutions.
We're gathered here to reclaim our country's economic strength and emerge as a beacon of progress on the African continent. Not only a beacon of democracy, but a beacon of economic prosperity.
Desperately broke, desperately in need of hard decisions, desperately in need of what they are now fashionably calling a reset.
And how did Ghana get here?
Years after years of economic mismanagement, years after years of borrowing as if it was going out of fashion, years after years of literally looting the government purse. That's how we got here.
People's income are incredibly low and yet they have to pay high taxes. Everyone is hoping the new president will bring change. Faulkner struggles to pay the bills and provide for 8 children, roasting corn and groundnuts.
Mouth. The smoke is terrible. I'm going blind, but I have to walk from morning to evening to sell, but only make very little sales. People are not buying because there is no money. This government only problems, but we are hoping he fixes them soon.
Good has helped to curb inflation and return the economic to growth. But President Mohammed says more needs to be done to ease poverty levels. Whether the ideas and plans that have emerged out of the national dialogue will do that is not clear yet. But there is some optimism here that this president can turn things around.
Panama President Jose Raul Mulino has called Donald Trump liar in an angry response to the U.S. president's claim that he will take back the Panama Canal. Trump says Panama has violated the terms of a treaty and is allowing China and other countries to control the U.S.-built waterway. And as the news at 7, here again are some of the major stories. Just before we go, Ondo State Governor Lockheed Asiwa has donated a fire truck to the Akure Airport and promised additional support following the damage caused by a rainstorm that struck a few days ago, which disrupted flight operations while damaging critical infrastructure. The governor, during an on-the-spot assessment of the facility, described the extent of the damage as devastating, acknowledging the impact on the airport. And finally, we told you that the Senate has suspended the lawmaker representing Kogi Senator Natasha Akpoti-Iruanga. The Senate Committee on Privileges and Public Petitions had recommended the suspension of the Kogi lawmaker for 6 months and was subsequently ratified by the Assembly. The committee also recommended the Senate must apologize to the Senate for disrespecting it. And that's it on the news at 7. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.